We ain't
What?
going nowhere.
What?
We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
We can't be stopped.
Can't stop. Won't
Because we're
stop.
bad boys for life.
Yes, sir. We back again
We're back again.
after some technical difficulties.
We did have some technical difficulties, but what? Fuck it. There's gonna be a better. Oh, what the heck? Better.
veteran?
A veteran.
A
Better show. Better recording. Yo, before we get started, dog. See what we're doing. Yo, for real. We didn't plan this, by the way.
Yeah, we didn't plan this.
We didn't plan this. We didn't plan this.
The shirt was the shirt. We knew we were both gonna wear Bridgin the Gap merch.
Yo, so
welcome back to Bridging the Gap.
I'm official DJ Leo.
I'm Get Rich Never Die.
Let's go. Check us out on Instagram. Check out the Bridging the Gap official page on Instagram. Is Bridging the Gap.
Instagram.
Bridging the Gap official on Instagram. Click on the link tree, and then you'll be able to find everywhere else that we have, that we're listed, all the social media and all that stuff.
Hey, yo, follow us, bro. Follow us, bro.
Subscribe, please. We're trying to get our subscribers up. Come on, do it. Share it, yo. If you like anything we do here, please share it with your friends, man.
Subscribe.
Yes,
subscribe.
Please.
Follow.
But yo,
like.
Big shout out, big thank you to Stephanie from Your Vision, My Creation.
Subscribe, follow, like.
Big applause for her. Big shout out. We got to make sure we shout out Eddie because he pressed the shirts too. So
he did.
He might get a little tight if we don't mention his name. So
shout
thank you,
out to
Eddie. Big thank you. And big thank you to my wife, man. She's been doing a little content for us.
Yes, sir.
Yes, she is getting paid less than a sneaker maker in China, but
damn, it's crazy because you made that joke already, and then we went into some really deep shit.
Yeah, but
actually less than a Chinese.
Yeah,
worker.
she is. She really is. I said that though.
Oh, and slavery.
Yeah. Well, damn.
This joke doesn't hit the same way.
It doesn't.
Anyway,
listen, we
transition.
We had a technical difficulty with the original recording, and we had to kind of play it back.
Leo's fault.
Yeah. I'm in charge.
I just coughed. I didn't say.
I'm in charge of production, so any fuck ups that happen, they're my fault. But whatever, man.
But at least this camera angle is good, and that's what I'm in charge.
That's what it's in charge of. That's what he brings to the table. Just the camera angle.
I just bring the camera angle. I'm like, Leo, I don't like the way this is.
Like it.
Then I shift it like 2 inches to the right, and then I'm like, perfect. You had it wrong.
He's a fucking diva. he's like 2 inches to the left, half an inch to the right. Okay. Make sure we put corny on the corner there.
Yeah, corny.
Stephanie loves corny, by the way.
I thought she hated corny.
Which
one is it?
She does. I'm just
being sarcastic. Oh yeah. Well, corny's here to fucking stay.
Yeah. Yo, let's get into this, yo. How was the week?
Week was good, man. Week was good. I spent most of it working, all of it working.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna do wah, but we don't have that.
No.
Anyways, I spent most of it working. I don't think anything interesting happening. I think when I work a lot, I just go in autopilot, bro. I'm just like, yeah, bro. And now it feels like I'm actually up. I'm actually myself, and it feels good, man. Feels good. Just a really hard working week, bro. That's it.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Sometimes that's life, bro.
That's it. Sometimes the best weeks are the uneventful weeks, I basically had the same. It's been a good week because nothing went wrong. Did not have to go to the hospital. Working on myself,
Thankfully.
Thankfully, man.
Don't tell me you worked harder than me, bro, because there's always like one up, bro. It's always, actually, you think you got sugar in your blood? I almost died.
For sure.
Oh, shit. Oh, your father didn't take you to Chuck E. Cheese? My father used to whoop my ass. All right, chill. Damn, my father nearly killed me. Okay, I get it. All right. Oh, you worked 80 hours? Oh, I worked 100 this week. We get it, Leo. Damn, bro.
Yeah. Next time you're going to be like, I had a flat tire. I'm like, I
had 4.
And I was going 600 miles an hour. I don't know. Some exaggerating shit like that.
Yeah, bro.
Of course. I got to listen. It's not my fault. My life is shittier than yours, yo. It's
shit.
You gonna
shit off.
You're gonna Talking about shadows.
Freak off.
Freak offs.
Dun, 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 dun.
Damn, yo, we need when we gonna
Here, I'm gonna pull it up.
so yo, let's of course everybody's been talking about this, yo. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna talk about Diddy. Diddy got basically he got acquitted from 5 charges. He was looking at 5 charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. And he actually got convicted of transportation to engage in prostitution and transportation to engage in prostitution. So the reason why he got 2 counts is because there were 2 different, defendants, excuse me, 2 different victims.
Yeah.
Which is obviously Casey
and
then Jane
right?
Doe, which she didn't, obviously want her name out there. But he dodged a bullet, dude. If he would have been charged for racketeering, he was gonna do automatic life. And now, he actually is, got charged with the lesser crimes, and with that, he actually can do a maximum of 20 years. But according to CBS News, the what is this called? The prosecutor's office previously calculated that he was probably going to get between 51 and 63 months. Ooh. But dude, that's 5 years. That means he's going to get, they're estimating that he's probably going to get a 5-year sentence with good behavior and all that stuff. He'll be out in 3 probably. So
that's way better than life, man.
For sure.
3, 5 years, even like a fucking day in jail or prison is shitty as shit. But man, when you're looking at life, anything below that is feels like a blessing.
Yo, it's a win.
It's a win.
It's a win.
It's a big win.
He told his family, "I'm coming home," and he is right. He will be home. Probably, by the time we know it, he's gonna be home. And you know who's really mad right now? Who's
Cassie?
Really? No. No, man.
My bad. 50.
Nah. 50 love this shit. If this is content for 50.
50 lives for this shit.
Nah.
Did he do it?
You know who's really, really pissed right now?
Who? My bad. I shouldn't have played with it, but
that's what you do. You like to touch. You like to touch a mic.
Fidgety. All right, go ahead. Who's mad?
R. Kelly, dog. R. Kelly's fucking in jail in Chicago. Be like, this motherfucker got away with it.
Hey, all right. There's a difference, bro. Aaliyah was 17, bro. Aaliyah was 17. There's a big difference, fam.
Yeah, no. Listen. I know what you're saying. I'm not here justifying what R. Kelly did. I'm just saying that he's right now in jail, mad like a motherfucker, but that he didn't hire the same lawyers.
Well, he couldn't afford it.
He could.
But R. Kelly's business acumen and Diddy's is a lot different.
Of
Diddy
course,
was a different monster.
Yeah,
R.
Diddy
Kelly
was a
just had the hits.
or close to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Diddy had multiple assets and businesses. R. Kelly was just a great singer and a great writer.
Technically, he still does.
There's a big difference. What do you mean he still does?
So he obviously he hasn't lost any of that. He still owns his channel, his broadcasting channel.
R. Kelly or
no,
Diddy?
Diddy.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I'm talking about R. Kelly. I know Diddy still owns some shit,
but R. Kelly still gets money from his music, So he owns also. He's written a lot of songs that you may not even think he wrote it, but he did, and he's making money out of that, the royalties out of that. So he has money coming in. Obviously, he can't really do much. Talking about R. Kelly, we didn't talk about this, but about
I thought we were still on Diddy, but go ahead.
No, just real quick. About 2 weeks ago, he got he ended up in the hospital for an overdose. Yeah. So just
it's not going good for
him.
It's
not
man.
going
It's
good
not
for
going
R.
good
Kelly. It's not going good. It's going great for Diddy. I mean,
in the grand scheme of all things,
course.
In perspective wise, it's going great for him. But
listen,
I mean, this is still bad.
Yes, but man, let me tell you, like you said, just one day in prison, because right now he's been in jail. which is completely
Even
different.
jail or prison.
Listen, yes, jail is bad, but it's nothing compared to prison.
To prison.
So when you get to prison, it's real. Never been there. I do have had individuals that I've known that have been in prison, and just to visit them is an ordeal.
Yeah.
So I know that for sure, maximum security prison and all that stuff is no joke. So for sure, one day there, but if you're thinking your life is over, you're never gonna see your kids outside the walls of a jail cell, that you're never gonna be able to hold any grandchildren or anything like that. And then you're like, you're gonna come back in 5 years or even 10 years. That's fucking crazy to me.
That's nuts, bro.
Yeah, dog. Whoa.
And like the contrast of lives you were living. Like one day you're this well-respected black entrepreneur from the hood who turned into a legend mogul, of all types of music and just business in general. And then the next day you're in jail and you're looked as a freak boy, and then your sexuality's in question, and all of a sudden you're an abuser. This video of him comes out being a total the lowest scum and piece of shit that you could totally be. Had that moment, and it totally shifts the view of the world. So like now I'm questioning, like, how do you think we view him, or what do you think what are your predictions as to what are going to be his next steps to be welcomed back into society, if he wants to? Or he could just take the Russell Simmons shit and just go to Bali and just dip and, set sail into the sunset.
Here's the thing. I actually think that with the kind of ego that he has, when he gets out, not only is he going to come out and try to be back in the limelight, but he's going to go hard. And he's going to, pause.
No Diddy.
No Diddy.
No baby oil.
No baby oil.
Some baby oil.
Well, they did say that's probably why he didn't, get caught up on the charges.
No Diddy, some baby oil, no freak offs.
No freak offs. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You got to be rich.
Yeah. We're not there. Not yet.
I mean, we're rich in life. Financially is another question. Hold on. I hope nobody gets annoyed. I'm gonna take one more gander at this.
Yo, he's been fidgeting. And
all right. Now we're back.
I told him stop fucking touching it, and he just loves to touch it.
Now we're back. No, you know what happened is because we had the technical difficulties, I moved it to the side to help you take a look and shit, and then I lost it.
Okay.
And then when we decided to come back, I didn't fix it.
You didn't fix it.
That's on me. That's on me. Hey, look, I'm a human being. I make mistakes.
For sure.
No Diddy, but I make mistakes.
Not yet.
The money's not there.
Not there. Yo,
no, hold on. Like, let's stay on this trial for a little bit.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I also think it's gonna be difficult for him to readjust himself, especially in the music industry, especially because of that video that's out. Like he's an abuser. He coerced, like, based on the law, he coerced 2 girls into prostitution.
Yep.
And not only that, but we have video proof of him being an abuser.
Yeah, you know what America is good at, though?
Forgetting
and forgiving.
Except 9/11.
Whoa.
Never forget
that. Okay, what the fuck? You go dark, dog. You go dark.
Yo, I have really dark humor.
Yeah, I see that. You just ruined my train of thought. No, but listen, like I was saying, Americans forget super easy.
Yeah.
He just has to come up with one good hit, and it's gonna be back, yo.
You think he's one hit away after all that?
Dude, Chris Brown beat the shit out of Rihanna.
Okay, yeah, and he made hits upon hits after that. Nobody let that go for years. Some people are still not letting that go.
Yeah, but he's making money again from singing, from his music. So It took some
Yeah.
time. It took some time. I agree with you.
Okay,
But it honestly, America forgot he
but
had bangers.
there's a big difference. My bad to
No,
interrupt you,
go
but
ahead.
there's
Go
a
ahead.
big difference.
Okay.
The difference is that Chris Brown was a young man at that point in his life. He wasn't a grown ass 40-year-old man beating on a girl. He was a kid, an 18-year-old kid who
Made a mistake.
who made a mistake, and not only that, but he was living in the public eye. He's been famous since he was like what, 15, 16?
Something like that. Yeah.
And Rihanna the same thing. So these are kids who didn't get the chance to really go to high school and have something, you know, have something happen behind closed doors without the public knowing it. Damn, you're turning me the fuck up. Without the public knowing it. You get what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so they both acted out in that moment. It wasn't only Chris Brown, but Rihanna on her count too admits that she was punching him and scratching him and shit like that, like grabbing his private parts while he's driving. Like shit like that can really can really antagonize somebody. Yeah. That was a reaction of something happening. Should he have done it? No, he's absolutely completely wrong. But did it happen, and was it a mistake? Yeah. So people tend to move on from that because they're able to look through, especially when you get older, you're able to see yourself maybe not fully because you didn't exactly go through that, but you're able to see how someone could get there, especially with all that money, power, and
respect.
And money, power, respect. And then we're back to Diddy.
We're back to Diddy.
And
see?
So
full circle.
And so Diddy did not this is different. This is multiple cases of being freaky and coercing women into illegal activities. This is a whole lifelong of taking advantage of that power and then pushing it to the limits of its threshold, pushing it past it. And it's a different case. So, and you also have video of him. If we had video of Chris Brown, I think it'd be different, but we don't.
But we had the pictures of Rihanna after.
We do.
Yeah, but listen, I agree with you. Diddy was a grown-ass man when he did all these things, and it was a lot more egregious than what Chris Brown did. It's just that we're in America, dude. We forget so quick. We forget so quick that he's gonna 5 years from. Listen, we're not gonna think about Diddy until he comes out of jail. The second he comes out of jail, he's gonna have a plan because, he might be a shitty person.
Yeah,
but he's a smart businessman.
He's a smart motherfucker. Can't take that away from him.
So, yeah, he's a piece of shit, but he's gonna come out. And he's gonna have a plan on what to do next, and he's gonna do something where people are gonna forget everything he did. Is it gonna be immediate? Probably not. But I feel like he is gonna come back from this, and he's gonna have a booming career again.
Yeah, unfortunately, I agree with you, and I think people are gonna. I think what we all can gain from this case is that, he's a sexually driven person.
Yeah.
And a business driven person. I feel like his urges sometimes push the limits of legality. And maybe not sometimes, maybe most of the time.
Yeah.
And I think he was caught up in a lot. He's a very powerful person with a lot of money. I feel like all of this comes into play when you look at this case. When you look at this case openly, yes, he deserves a lot of whatever sentence he's gonna get. He deserves it because at the end of the day, he did abuse his power. He did push the limits of legality. He did all these things. He's a piece of shit. But I'm glad we get to see judicially, just to see the law lay out, get played out. And some people wanted him to fall for everything. Get charged with everything and wanted him to do life. And I feel like that's not fair. Yeah, he should do some time. Yeah, we should still label him a piece of shit, but he should be able to still have, his rights as a human being.
Of course.
That's it. And this is an expression of it. He was treated like a normal person, tried like a normal person. The power had nothing to do with it. All the evidence came into play. All the witnesses came into play. His defense had a strategy. They
His defense.
his defense.
Okay, you said defense.
It's the same thing. His defense had a strategy that they they executed properly. And I feel like, moving forward, it's gonna be difficult for him to get into play. I think how it's gonna start, I don't think it's gonna be a hit. I think he's gonna be in the background. I think he's gonna be producing a lot of the stuff.
Yep.
I think he's slowly gonna make his way, and then once we start getting accustomed and liking and loving all the things that he produces, we're gonna get back to him getting, because once he gets he changes the perspective of the public eye. He's gonna come back with the hit. He's gonna come back with the movie. He's gonna come back with a part. He's gonna come back with the superstar, like another signed artist. He's gonna come back with his channel. He's gonna make a comeback. But I give it 5 years until he starts making those big public eye moves again. I think he's gonna disappear for a while.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I don't think. I know. I just said, he's definitely gonna come out with a plan. I just don't think, like, it's not gonna be immediate. I think you're right that he's probably gonna be doing a lot of background stuff. But I'm just saying that eventually we're gonna see him again.
We're gonna accept him. Yeah. And once that hit comes, you are right. Once that hit comes, we're gonna forget everything. We're just gonna be dancing to that shit. Can't stop, won't stop.
And
Bad boy for life.
And I'm gonna be playing it in one of my
Bad
shows
boy
or something.
For life.
Yo, but like,
sorry, you guys had to see that.
Yeah, I didn't even look. I'll see it on the video
on the playback when we watch the game tape. It's like, oh shit, he did that. Let me make a note.
Yo, going from one
case
to another,
to an even worse one,
to a worse one. A rapper Silento, with his real name is what is his real name?
I got it right here.
I thought I had it. Oh, Ricky Hawk. So he just got sentenced to 30 years in jail for killing his cousin. Crazy. Yeah. In case you guys don't know who rapper Silento is,
30 years?
Yeah, he got 30 years. He's the kid that made Whip. Don't watch me whip. Now watch me nay. Well, I'm sorry you had to see that.
Yeah. Again, on my part.
But yeah, he got accused of killing his cousin. According to this report from Fox, he basically was I guess he got into an altercation with his cousin.
Yeah, and
he came back in his car. First of all, okay, yeah, you get into an altercation with your cousin. All right, whatever. And then you decide to shoot him. But then you decide to do it in your own car. Okay, so this is where he got caught up. He
crashed out.
He used his own car, because had he not used his own vehicle, he probably would have gone away with it.
He crashed out. He didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, but dude, now he's gonna be. This kid is a young man. He is in his early 20s.
Yeah,
and now by the time he comes up, he's gonna be a grown ass man.
He's Ricky Lamar Hawk. He's 27.
Yep.
Well known as Silento. Did the Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was reading up on him, right? There was an article up on him. He has a long history of doing this type of shit. I think he was charged with assault. I think he has different cases of all this. He did an interview where he said he was suffering from like mental illness. He was like fighting demons. Like, he's been struggling mentally for a while now. And I think when you're placed on this pedestal as a kid, especially as a young man, but you come from this background, it's difficult to balance a lot in life. Because one day you're in high school, you make a song, and then the next day you're a superstar and your song's everywhere, and all the kids can't stop listening to it, can't stop dancing to it. I think that immediate shift in your life, I think, has a big play in how you react, because now you have all this money, now you have all this pressure, you have all the shit that you grew up watching that you're dealing with all at the same time. coming at you, it could really break somebody. Like it could really make somebody. It could get to the right person, and you could react positively to all the pressure and execute without, and succumb over the pressure. But some people, that shit really breaks you and cracks you. And
now, I think really, I really do think, and I'm sorry to interrupt. What happens is he got enough success to have a little bit of money,
yeah,
but not enough to get out of the streets.
yeah,
So, there's a kid. He's a kid from the streets. He lives in a neighborhood where obviously Atlanta
street shit happens.
Street shit happens.
Yeah.
So he has he has enough money to have nice cars and nice things, but not enough to get away from trying to not be disrespected in the streets. So so he still has to play the part as a street kid with a little bit of money. So, and this is where sometimes rappers get caught up, and actually you have really successful rappers that get caught up in the they have a lot of money, but now I kind of want to still not lose my street credibility.
Yeah.
Or street cred, how the young kids say. I'm not young. So I think that's that.
Don't ever do that again.
Don't. Okay. I think that's that balance that some of these kids have to kind of do. Is
exactly.
They have money, but then they can't lose that credibility, and they gotta try to act tough, and you can't disrespect me, you can't talk shit about me, you can't do anything, and then they're in a crossroad where do I try to get out? And unfortunately, since 2015 when he had that huge hit, he hasn't really had anything.
Yeah, and that's a sad part, right? Because you could be a one-hit wonder, and the pressure of trying to make another one of those again, it's the curse, because you could have a hit and it could be like a mellow hit, and then next year you're like, okay, I want another hit, but increase. Once you make a hit and it goes all the way at the zenith point, it reaches the limit, you're like, okay, what the fuck do I do to reach that again? And then no matter what you do, that's like the gift and the curse. Yeah, you made this super banger, but then you have to follow up with something else. And no matter what you do, it's never going to be that banger that you made.
Yo, but also too, I'm sure he got disrespected for it, for the fact that he had a one-hit wonder.
Not only that, but you mentioned it earlier. Yeah, he's a street kid, but that type of music is not for the streets. That's for the kids. And so you get this contrast of the life you're living and the music you're making, and they're like, on one side you gotta feed us, you gotta give one, and then the labels are like, no, you gotta give us another one of these.
Yeah.
And then that could fuck you up a lot too, and you're only 17, 18 from the streets already dealing with the shit you saw growing up.
For sure. Yo, just quick little side note. Just noticed you're not wearing sunglasses, dog.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't got my shades on.
Yo,
I'm going to look at all you motherfuckers today.
You're looking us right in the eye. You see the dead eyes, the dead inside of us.
Inside of you. It's just you. It's just you. There's fire in my eyes. Sometimes it's like Cyclops. You feel me? I wear the shades to protect you motherfuckers.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, now I'm like, king, the lasers are coming. But hold on, let me get back to protecting you guys. You're right.
All right.
As soon as you mention it, I'm like a rebel. You really cannot mention anything I'm not doing, because then I'm going to do the opposite.
Gotcha.
So it's like, if you want me to fail in life, you're just going to praise my every move. And if you want me to make it, then you got to like tell me I can't do something.
Okay. So you can't be a billionaire and make this pod ultra famous.
Oh, I can't?
No, you can't.
All right, watch this, bitch. That's good reverse psychology.
Oh, man. Yo,
yeah, but hold on. Yeah, let's close out Silento. Silento, damn, bro. He's 27, going to do 30 years. He'll be out by the time, he's 60. Like almost 60.
57. But technically,
60,
he won't do the whole 30.
Yeah, you'll get out for
he'll probably do 22, 23.
Yeah.
So he'll probably get out somewhere when he's like close to 50.
Oh, he'll get out. But yeah. All right, so he'll get out something close to 50. But yeah, man, that's unfortunate. It's going to be sad. It's a sad story,
Yep.
Well,
what's the sadder part is somebody lost their life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's Silento, you're getting what you did.
What you deserve.
Right now, there's a mom, a father, probably siblings, aunties that are suffering because they're missing their child. But now it's like the whole family is kind of mourning twice.
It's mourning twice, and they're torn apart.
Correct, because now if you support one, if you support Hawk or Ricky, his last name is Hawk. If you support Ricky, then are you really supporting the cousin?
Yeah.
And then
if you support the cousin, then you got family. I mean, then you got family that supporting Ricky. You probably have beef with that side of the family, and it's just unfortunate on all different sides, and
for sure.
And rest in peace to Rooks. That's the last name of
his cousin.
Silento's cousin. Yeah, rest in peace to Rooks. Actually, let's look up his full name.
Because we gotta show that respect.
Yeah,
right?
show respect. Yeah, exactly.
I think I might have it here, but we'll kind of.
Oh yeah, Frederick Rooks. Rest in peace, Frederick Rooks. The cousin of Silento, who unfortunately who got his life taken away by Silento. Yeah. Rest in peace, man, and prayers to all the loved ones in your life, family and friends. And I don't wish any death on anybody, especially gun violence, especially early tragic shit like that.
Yep.
But I got something toxic to say about that.
Whoa.
Can you read my mind?
Nah.
You know what I'm about to say.
What, J-Tate? What's up?
About Silento.
Whatever.
You know what I'm about to say, Leo.
Nah.
Read my mind.
Why the fuck are we listening?
What do you think the cousin did?
I'm gonna say it's probably.
Was it worth the crash out?
Probably was drug related. Listen. I don't know the details. We're just fucking.
The publicist.
guessing.
Let me say something. The Silento publicist did a great job because I looked up. What is the reason? That Silento killed his cousin? Because I was curious about it. Like, was there a motive? And this is what came up on Google. First thing that came up on the page, it says, while there was no motive, or there was no clear motive released by the thing, Silento also they said his alias Ricky Lamar Hawk, and they also just started saying how he has years of mental health illness and all that shit, and there was no motive explained, bro, off of Google. So I'm like, bro, they did a great job at covering a lot of this shit up. They said.
By the way, I'm sorry. He did, because he did plead guilty, with mental illness.
Yeah, with mental illness.
So I think
he might do like 10.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. He's probably gonna do a lot.
And he probably might do it at like an asylum or something. Not an asylum.
He's going to prison for sure.
Going to prison? Oh,
yeah, he's going to prison. But I think he's just gonna be, probably monitor or going to a special unit or something like that. But
yeah,
he's going to real.
He's gonna go to real prison, but I think because of the mental illness thing, he's isolated from all the other dangerous.
Well, anyways, he's gonna be isolated because technically he is a celebrity.
That too.
And so he's gonna be in a separate little division because somebody's gonna definitely want to make him his wife. Silence is gonna be like, now watch me whip.
And he's gonna nay on that.
He's gonna nay.
He's gonna get whipped and he's gonna nay on that
for sure.
Damn, man, that's unfortunate, man. On all sides, man. Rest in peace, Frederick Rooks.
The third,
I guess.
Well, because that means there's a second and a junior.
Wait.
Well, no,
junior.
There's
is
a junior.
Second.
Is a second.
There's a senior and a junior. Anyways,
correct,
bro, this is why we can't do podcasts as soon as we wake up because then he starts doing this shit, bro.
For sure. You're the one that wants it early, though.
Whoa. What do you mean I want it early?
I don't know. Let's ask Christina.
All right.
Yo.
That's true.
Transition.
All right, what do we got next, man? What do we got next?
What
we got about? Baby mama drama.
Whoa. What's up?
All right, so I know you don't know too much about this. We try to speak about it in pre-production. He said, I have no idea what the fuck is going on. But that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Yeah. That's what I'm here for. Cause that's why we bridge gaps, bro. We bring topics to each other that, neither one of us was thinking about.
Correct.
So he brings a lot of, relationship stuff up that I'm like, oh, shit, that's a good point. That's a good talking subject. I bring little salacious shit like this. So DDG and Halle Bailey are having like custody problems. And yo, first of all, we're not gonna get as journalistic as we did with the Diddy and Silento shit.
No.
We did that because we're paying respect to the journalists who covered it, and we want to cover it as professionally as we possibly can. But this shit right here, DDG and Halle Bailey. So Halle Bailey, you know who she is? She's the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, she's
a new what?
What?
What'd you say?
What?
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 I don't know.
Anyways, so I was gonna say something, but it was gonna jam me up
For sure.
So Halle Bailey, the Little Mermaid, right?
Yeah.
The Little Mermaid, LIL.
LIL. You're a dick.
Wait, what does that mean? No, because that's how I said it, Lil.
Okay.
Because that's how I said. Anyways,
I thought it was because she was black.
Well, you can make that joke. You're black passing. You're bassing. You're blasting.
I'm blasting.
You're blasting. So DDG and Halle Bailey are having this custody battle, right? They have like a 1-year-old, almost 2-year-old son, Halo. Yeah, it's been getting pretty dramatic. There's like restraining orders. What else is there? There's accuses of domestic violence. There's accuses of mental instability. Domestic violence on both sides. The DDG accuses her of being mentally unstable, and she threw a restraining order at him. So there's been drama back and forth. She wanted to take her son to Italy to go on vacation. He wanted to prevent her from going out there. There's just this whole mess back and forth, and they're both famous in their respective fields. Like, obviously, she's a singer and a movie star.
Yep.
You know, she's super famous. She's Disney. You know how Disney is with.
She's Disney money.
She's Disney money.
That's different.
That's different. And DDG, you know, he makes pretty decent music. He's a streamer for the most part, but you know, his music career is taking off.
Seems to me.
And you know, I've been away from the music business. I've been away from the all music shit, so I'm not too familiar with anything new.
Yeah.
Right?
Nothing good out there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not for me.
Not for me either.
And so you know, they're having this custody battle, and I feel like I want to ask you, Leo, how would you handle a custody battle playing out in your early 20s while the whole public eye is on you? That's got to be a little different.
Well, listen, we kind of talked about this a little bit. I would kind of go with the way Keke Palmer is handling everything.
Okay.
So Keke Palmer, you know, talking about Disney, she's a Nickelodeon girl.
Same thing.
Same thing. But she definitely has, you know, had drama. Recently, she, you know, I don't know if you know how everything started, but so she went to an Usher concert, and I guess you know with the cherries and all that stuff. Recently, she actually did an interview.
She was dancing with him.
With actually one of my old high school mates. Mina say what?
Are you from England? What the fuck is that? My old high school mates.
Yeah, she went to high school with me, and now she's on Sirius XM.
That's fire.
So shout out to her. Congratulations.
Get us a deal, please.
Please, I'm gonna send you this. So yeah, she recently did an interview with her, and she actually, you know, mentioned that prior to the Usher thing, her and her baby daddy had already broken up.
Okay.
But she decided that she was not going to go out there and sort of clear the air because she wanted to keep all those details private between her and her baby daddy.
Yeah.
Of course, he didn't try to do the same. He actually tried to, you know, put a bunch of stuff out there. And
I remember the story. He didn't keep it player. He started exposing her or exposing shit in the relationship on Twitter. She wanted to keep everything in-house, away from the public eye. There's a lot of businesses, a lot of brands that could be fucked up.
Yep.
She was taking into consideration all of that because she's the big money maker. She's the cash cow. This guy was just somebody on the side waiting for an opportunity like a little bitch. She wifed him up, and that's what happened. She just chose the wrong fucking guy.
Yep. Call me Kiki.
What the
fuck?
What the fuck is going? Yo, this guy. I keep telling you guys, he's a married guy.
To his sister.
To my sister. He does it in front of me. I feel him. We jam each other up. I'm supposed to defend my sister, but it's kind of funny when he does it, so I don't know how to feel. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
She's gonna watch this and say something about it.
That's fucking hilarious.
Hey, listen, we got a list of girls. If I ever get a chance, that famous list.
I know her list, and it's just one person.
It's just one
name.
There's like 2 or 3.
Yeah, but there's one name.
Oh, there's one name.
There's one name that starts with an R,
ends with an S.
Oh, okay. The full name. I was just gonna say. But you're right. The full name starts with an R, ends with an S.
Yeah.
It's 2 names.
Yeah. Shakespeare wrote a book about him.
Yep.
Oh.
Wait, who are we talking about?
I don't know. Really?
Are we talking about Romeo Santos?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how do you think he got his name?
Oh, Romeo Santos is Shakespeare wrote his name. That was a name Shakespeare made up. Is that what you're saying? What the fuck are you talking about?
Romeo and Juliet. You've never heard of that story?
Are you talking about that? But all right, but it's Santos.
That's his last name. But Romeo he grabbed from Shakespeare.
How obviously? I mean, I got that part.
Okay.
Okay, I'm retarded. I totally forgot Romeo was Shakespeare, bro.
And that's not his real name.
We could say retarded, right? Is it back? Trump is president.
Shit.
I forgot. I thought we could say retarded. My bad. I'm gonna stop saying it.
You said it like 6 times.
I said it 6 times already. I got the retarded gun on me. Oh shit! I'm shooting like Silento.
Oh. Whoa. People are laughing at that.
My bad. Transition.
Nah, but we were just talking about the Kiki Palmer situation. That
Yeah.
whole drama. Listen.
But with DDG and Halle Bailey.
I think this is what happens when young people have kids.
Facts.
The young, you still have that young kids mentality, so therefore
Facts.
you handle things in the same dramatic way that you would any other situation.
Especially when you're a rich kid.
Exactly. So it's just the unfortunate part is that, and what they forget is that there's a child in the middle. This child, especially when you're a celebrity, this child at one point or another, well, right now he's being affected. Is it a he or she?
He.
He's being affected because he's having to play this little role of going back and forth and all these different things happening. But eventually he's going to read all this. All this, when he's able to read and he's able to think, he's gonna read about this. He's gonna Google, his mom. He's gonna Google his father, and he's gonna read all this stuff. And then that's unfortunate. The one thing some of these celebrities have to remember, and let me tell you something. We're talking about celebrities because they're in the spotlight.
But people in general,
dude. Anytime you have kids involved, fuck your feelings. Yes, you should think about yourself every so often, but also think how your actions are affecting your children.
Talk to him, Leo.
Listen, do it. Think about your child. This is an unfortunate situation. Unfortunately, this replays everywhere, all over the world. Actually, recently, funny enough, kind of not, it's sort of the same. One of my coworkers shared that one of her friends, 19 years old, just got pregnant by a 36-year-old. And
damn.
The 36-year-old was like, "Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want to be with you."
Oh, damn.
But guess what? Now is drama. This is what I'm saying. Kids, thinking about doing kid stuff, not thinking about
The
the
consequences.
consequences of their actions. And then now there's a kid. This young girl is gonna have a kid. She's not gonna know. She's gonna have to deal with it on her own because obviously this guy's a piece of shit. And and now it's the same situation that we're talking about. Now
Yeah.
these two individuals have a child. They don't know how to handle it. They something happened in their relationship where there's animosity, and because there's an animosity, they're taking it out on their kid, which is stupid.
It's the stupidest thing to me. I could recall when I was a kid how my parents handled it, and it wasn't the greatest. And these were two people who weren't famous and weren't like in their 20s. They were like late into their 30s, and I feel like they handled my situation as best as they could, but it was still a bunch of like shitty times. Like I remember family members speaking down on my dad, and then me building a resentment towards him when I would be with him. No idea why I felt this way, but it was just because of other things I was hearing around, just to get a little personal. So when I see shit like that, I'm like, bro, like, one, what has a lot into play with is personal things going on behind the scenes of the relationship that you don't know about. Things that one person may find out about the other that could truly break the other person's heart. I'm talking about Halle Bailey and DDG, right? Another thing that goes on is, you never know how the woman is going to deal with childbirth.
Yeah.
There's I was going to say post-traumatic. There's postpartum, yeah. There's postpartum depression.
Yeah.
And even if there's no postpartum, hormones are still all over the place, even after childbirth, right?
So you're blaming the woman?
No, I'm not blaming the woman. I'm saying that. Let me finish speaking, because there was a contrast I was gonna make. There's hormones going all over the place.
Yeah.
Where a young man who doesn't know how to handle that and is doing this for the first time wouldn't know how to take some of the things being said or take some of the things being done. So then it creates this friction. So what I'm saying is that, when you're a kid and the foundation of your relationship is, toxic in some way, like, and like there's a level of mental instability going on, like it's kind of hard to deal with, and like it's kind of hard to think of the kid first because you're still a kid.
Yeah.
And I guess when this situation, how I would want to handle it is, like you said, the Keke Palmer way, but sometimes that shit just doesn't happen because you're never in control of the other party. Same thing with Keke Palmer. She wasn't in control of that guy. And that's the whole point. Like, throughout the whole situation, I would stay quiet. I would not even talk about it. I would just try my best to be there for the kid. And what seems to happen in the public eye is DDG is like out here still streaming, he's doing like events and stuff. Like he's out there with girls, and
most recently I think he was on a yacht or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Yo, you know how we're always talking about how how I'm trying to beat your stories or being
here
bad.
we go again.
No, actually, I'm gonna give you props because you had a shittier situation than I did in that case, because my mom and my father separated when I was 9 years old, and my mom and her family actually not ever spoke bad about my father. They actually on the opposite. They actually talked really well about my father, and it wasn't because he wasn't a piece of shit. It was because they did not want to influence the way I thought of him. They wanted me to actually try to have a relationship with him as much as possible. And my mom wanted me, we've talked about it after, is she wanted me to know for myself. She wanted me to see what she saw.
Right.
She didn't want to, spoil me with bad information. That way I create exactly, your perception of my father's a piece of shit or whatever. No, I created that from what I was seeing.
What you were seeing, yeah.
Not what anybody was saying, because every single person in my family, not once not once had anything bad to say about my father. And I appreciate and thank them for that. So in that case, you beat me. So congratulations, yo. Congratulations. Let's see. Is it this one?
Oh, wow. No, it's this one, bro.
Oh, there you go. See? By the way, shout out to Stephanie. She says she hates the fact that we don't know the buttons.
It's been 7 episodes. We still don't know what the fuck is going on.
And maybe next week we won't either.
You want to know something funny? Just to get a little vulnerable here.
Okay.
Because, it's funny it's funny that you say that because it was like it's the yin yang effect. Your side of the family, your mom's side of the family didn't speak down on your father's name, but you noticed for yourself who your father really was, and he was a piece of shit. Like, or you made up your negative assumption or negative perspective of him because of all the negative stuff that he did.
Correct.
Let me not say he was a piece of shit. Let me not put words in your head, but basically,
well, I said it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. To you, he was a piece of shit, right?
Yeah.
Because you noticed his character, right?
Correct.
Same thing with my dad, but the opposite way. My mom's side of the family, it's just two people. I won't mention who they are because that's not really important. But
I know who they are.
My mom's side of the family, they would, talk down about my dad and when I was a kid, I remember having this shyness or like this refrain from getting close to him. But the more I grew up, the more I realized he was trying. He was a hardworking man. The more I always had love for my dad, but we weren't really close till I started, thinking for myself, like around my teenage years, like I didn't see him for quite a few years, like from the ages that I left Jersey to when I moved down here. I don't remember seeing him that often, but then during my teenage years, he started showing up a lot more. And then that's when I realized, oh, this guy's a human being and he's a good guy and he tries. And then I made up my own, my own perspective of my father, and it worked in the opposite way. I was like, oh, he's not what, what they talk about.
These individuals said.
These individuals, yeah. But he's not what they said. I realized, like, okay, this is their perspective of him because of what he did. But as a father, to me, he's not that guy. He was just that guy in that situation. But to me, he's not that, and to my siblings, he's not that.
Yeah, he fucked up in a situation, but the fuck up. They made it more.
They made it more than
where
it was exactly.
And I kind of want to retract a little bit. I keep saying that my father was a piece of shit, and I still believe that. But that doesn't mean that he didn't have his good qualities. He did. Unfortunately, the good qualities were a lot less than the bad qualities, and the bad qualities were so bad that they outshine
the good
stuff. So
that's well said.
As a human being, everybody's flawed. Everybody has their bad stuff. And again, I don't want to go back to harp on it, but yes, he did have his good moments. And there is some good memories that I have of him. So, but again, I truly appreciate my family, from my mom's side, that
I can appreciate
the fact that
that's very mature. And it's hard to do that, like, on the woman's side. I'm not saying anything bad about women. I'm just saying because there's a lot of resentment and emotion that sometimes that could blind the ability to do that.
Yeah.
So very commendable, very mature for your mom. For real. And shout out to your fact that, your father wasn't a total piece of shit.
Yeah. Not a total piece of shit.
Not a total piece of shit.
Dog, but man.
I'm glad that he like there was some good memories instilled in you, because there are dads that are just total piece of shits.
Yeah.
That like are just completely just always bad.
No, yeah. So every time I've talked, this has been in a negative connotation. But I kind of, again, a lot of bad, but there was a little bit of good there. So I'm not gonna completely disrespect his memory.
Yes.
Rest
in peace. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, our dads, bro.
Our dads, yeah.
Transition.
Transition.
Yo, that's so funny because you just witnessed in real time how men deal with emotions. So yeah. Anyways,
Yo, we didn't talk about this, but
That's
I'm glad you
funny.
bring that up
That's
because
funny,
I just
bro.
had a situation yesterday. We were
Yeah.
my wife was trying to have a conversation with me, right?
Okay.
And let's just say I had the same face as a nurse did from my story from last
Oh,
week.
the misery in the eyes.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch last week's episode,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll know what I'm talking about. But then I started to make jokes, and of course she was not too pleased that she's like, you can never be fucking serious, and I'm like, yo, I don't think as a man you can be 100% serious in a conversation, especially when you're uncomfortable. So yeah, just that's women. That's how we handle shit.
That's how we handle shit.
We don't listen. I don't know, when shit gets too deep. Can we have conversation? But yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
It's either it's make jokes and stoicism. That's how men deal with shit.
Basically,
It's like ignore it, be stoic about it, or make jokes. Bro, I speaking of dark jokes, like earlier, bro,
Yeah.
I made a super dark joke. I don't even know if I want to say it now.
Don't.
Okay, good.
Let's not bring out J Tate.
All right. I made it. Yeah, that would have been some J Tate shit that I was about to say.
Yeah, no, don't bring out J Tate.
Yeah, never mind.
We're doing great. We're doing
It was
great.
with my girl, and she got mad about the joke. She was like, "Why would you say something like that?" She was like, "You really wish that upon me?" I was like, "I didn't wish it upon you. It's just how it's just a joke."
Yo, the conversation that I had with my wife was a joke that I made that was super dark and super offensive.
Yeah.
Like, it was so bad that right 2 seconds after I said the joke, I felt bad about it.
Oh fuck! I kind of want to say my joke.
No, don't do it because you know she's gonna watch this.
She's gonna watch this,
and then she's gonna get mad again.
Yeah. I can't say my joke.
Don't say the joke.
I say my joke.
So,
but I want to
anyways.
do it for the pod. I want to do it for the podcast sake.
No,
It's a super dark joke,
super
bro.
dark.
Super
Don't do it.
dark.
Don't do
Wait.
it. Don't
Who do you think is darker, yours or mine? We got to talk about this off camera.
Off camera for sure.
All right. We got to get back to the dark.
But
And then if it's not that dark, we'll probably tell it
we'll
next
talk
week.
about yeah. If we feel that it's not as dark, we'll talk about it next week. But
No, mine is pretty dark.
pretty dark.
And I'm not gonna lie, mine will not make mine. Mine will make me not beat any allegations. It was super toxic too. It was dark and toxic, bro.
Dude. Mine was. I can't. I don't even want to talk about it.
We can't do this to the audience. We can't just blue balls them with the joke. We're not gonna tell. With two jokes, we're not gonna tell them. Bro.
Blue balls.
we're not gonna tell you guys these jokes, or we're not gonna blue balls you with these jokes. We can't.
Nah, yeah.
Sorry.
So
I gotta remember to keep I gotta aim at the mic when I speak because I turn to you sometimes and then I'd be like this.
exactly.
And I gotta.
That's what I do.
to-
I kind of.
I know.
I put my head kind
I
of
see
back.
that. I gotta do the little Leo
little
head
head
bob.
bob.
Yeah. Just
Leo head bob.
the
bitch.
Leo head bob. The Leo head bob pothead.
Whoa. Yo, listen. Before we continue, I just want
Before
to
we transition.
transition. I'm gonna give you a little tease out there. We're gonna have a guest host next week. I
Oh.
guess. This person, we don't know if they're gonna be with us the whole show or are they gonna be here just to talk about some specific things. But so, like I said, we are going to start having guests. If you, the listener, want to be a guest on this show,
We got to know you personally. You can't just be a random from Oregon and be like, "Yo, can you guys fly me out?" We're not there yet.
no, we're not flying anybody out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have the equipment that you're gonna be able to call. We're gonna be able to. We're gonna be able to put you on a Zoom. We'll record your Zoom. You actually will see your face on the pod the week that we record. So if you want to be there, Bridging the Gap official. Bridging the Gap official. See, I said it right.
Bridging the Gap official. Yeah.
So
Link tree in bio. You click on the link tree, right? You're going to go on TikTok. You're going to go on YouTube, on Spotify. You're going to follow. You're going to download. Whatever it takes to support, you're going to do it. Why? Because we're out here bridging gaps every day. And have you ever built a bridge? It's fucking hard, bro.
Yep.
It's fucking hard. It's manual labor. It's out there working in the sun, bro. First of all, I'm building a bridge. It's fucking dangerous. Okay.
What the fuck?
And we're out here bridging gaps. What? What do you mean? What did I do?
What the fuck was that? What was that about building a bridge?
Because we're bridging the gaps.
Okay. Anyways.
All right. Obviously, somebody doesn't see the vision. It's okay.
It's not. It's not my vision. Your creation.
He's not a mathematician. He doesn't see division.
No. Oh. Whoa. Bars. Okay.
That was bars.
Bars.
And it rhymed.
It rhymed.
All right. I might make a comeback. I might still have it.
Okay.
I might still have it.
You might. Hey, maybe you need to. That way we can have. If you're promoting your music, you can also promote the show and any additional stuff. That's why I keep doing mixes. Yo,
and
look out. Fuck it. I'm gonna do a shameless plug.
Yeah. Do it.
I just dropped the Bachata Clásica mix.
Bachata.
Mixcloud. Go to
Aventura.
my link tree. Go to my link tree. Official DJ Leo.
Link tree in bio.
And go ahead and check it out, though. And I'm gonna say this, yo. If you like it, if you want more, there's a way you can leave a tip there. So, asking for money, yo. Fuck it. But yo, pause.
Oh, I thought you had
monetary tip, bitch.
It's like you could leave the tip in there.
Monetary tip, yo. Pause that.
Nah. No, for real. Go support Leo's mixes. He's actually a pretty good DJ. And I'm not just saying that because I'm biased. I'm saying that because he's actually really good. He knows how to keep the tempo and the vibe right. He knows how to transition well. He has good mixes. So shout out to Leo. Shout out to Leo for sure. And speaking of shit that we're working on, we've been talking about it. We might do skits in here. We might do some sketches.
Yeah.
We got to figure some shit out. We got to write it. We got to find the time to record. We're doing new shit here. We don't want to be like other podcasts. Like we don't want to be just two bros sitting on a fucking couch.
Yeah.
And just talking shit.
Yo,
we actually want to produce some shit.
Yo, and just another little tease for next week.
Transition.
We're gonna have a whole new setup. We're gonna still be sitting here, but you're gonna see some different things coming in. So, we are bringing the quality of this pod up because we want to do the best for you guys. So keep listening. Keep sharing. Yo, it's like we're ending it.
Yeah, we're not ending it. But hey, this is like the middle part of the ad when we talk to you, the audience.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, leave some comments. We want to start making phone calls. We want to set some things up. Leave some comments. Shoot DMs. Don't send dick pics. No. Send eggplants and dick pics.
Eggplant emoji
as
to get rich, never die.
Official DJ Leo loves eggplants, loves dick pics. Send all that to him. But any suggestions? If anything you want to talk about, there's a lot of people I want to call and talk to.
Yo, and let me tell you something. And we've had a lot of listeners, especially the females, talking about where we're broing it up too much
And that's not fucking changing.
Oh.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You see, you never watched Wolf of Wall Street, bro.
Of course I did.
Okay. My bad.
Come on,
I was
please.
about to question your manhood, but...
Shut up. Anyways.
Damn, I messed this up again. Keep talking.
Anyways, listen, what the fuck was I saying, though?
I'm sorry. The female viewers said it was a bro pod.
See, that's what happens when you get to 40. You forget shit quick.
No, and I interrupt you a lot. So
anyways, yeah. Listen, if you guys feel like we're talking too much about broad topics,
just fast forward.
No.
Oh,
whoa,
my bad.
What the fuck? Don't fast forward.
My
Watch
bad.
the whole thing. Send us topics. We want your topics.
Yeah, we do.
Listen. You send us a topic. I'm not saying that every single topic you're gonna send we're gonna talk about, but we're open to talk about any topics. Of course, if you have maybe women, there's certain things that we're not going to be able to give you expertise about, so we're probably not going to talk about.
Yeah.
But if you have questions about your relationship, maybe something your man did, maybe something you want to do for your man, surprise or something, and you questioning, is it right? Is he going to question his manhood by you putting your finger up there?
True. Wait, what?
What? No, you don't do that?
Is your man gay if he asks for a finger in his butt?
Things like that, dog.
Yeah.
Come on. So, let us know.
Let us know. Give us a call.
And make sure you give us his full name.
I like how you say, hey, if this is too much of a bro pod, if we're talking too much about sex, and it's like, let me know if your man doesn't like a finger in your butt. It's like, like, bro, you couldn't stay off sex for 5 seconds, bro.
Yo, again, I'm a guy. That's what we're gonna talk. That's my mindset goes to that.
That's
but
true.
again, that's why we want the women
Caveman.
listeners to give us some topics. Let us see what you want us to talk
How
about.
do you
and we'll
deal
do it.
with your emotions? We don't. We just told you. We
buried it
stoicism-
inside.
Yeah, stoicism and jokes.
Listen, I'm fat not because I eat. It's all my feelings.
This is all his feelings.
all here. All here,
Yo,
baby.
Speaking of all here and the feelings, you think Drake lost feelings in his abs after all those tummy tucks?
Whoa.
So Drake is out here posting pictures. Actually, he dropped a new song last night. I'm not gonna lie. What did I miss? It's kind of fire. You got to listen to it. But it's kind of fire. And yeah, so there's this picture of him circulating around the web, as the kids say these days. Is going around, online, and he took a picture, and his abs are pretty chiseled, but people are pointing out like, "Yo, what's with the disproportion? Like, he really got his stomach done or something, because there's no shoulders, there's not really chest definition. It's just abs."
Yeah, but
which is a little weird. Like, why are you looking into a man's body that much? But also, like,
women.
huh?
I'm pretty sure it was women.
It was women, but it was a lot of dudes looking at Drake's body.
There's gay men.
Yeah, but there's a lot of straight dudes.
Yeah.
Oh, undercover gay men.
Undercover.
All right. Anyways,
Yo, listen. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna play your part here.
what do you think about the man BBL?
Well, before I get into that, I'm gonna say this. I seen this a lot where a particular when I used to go to the gym when I was fit. Some men work on a particular part of their body, and that's all they work on. Like I used to go to the gym, and there was this one guy that every single day worked on chest. Every day. I'm like, yo, why are you working on chest every single day, dog? But that's what they do.
I got a counter for that, but go ahead.
How about if this guy was just straight up just doing sit-ups and crunches and doing everything just for abs and wasn't really working out for everything else?
That's not how the body works. As someone who eventually like had abs and somebody who worked his way into it, not just like not like I saw somebody with abs, no, or whatever they did, I saw. No, I worked out myself and got into it. As somebody who did that, what happens is you start shredding and you start getting defined everywhere else in your body before your stomach. Your midsection is the last thing to go. So you're not going to have anything undefined all over your body. If like your midsection comes from the shredding of the fat in your belly, not so much the working out of your abs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, when you were doing this stuff, were you working every part of your body?
I was working out every part of my body.
That's what I'm saying. But if you're only working out, listen.
But
The way I look at it is this: Have you looked at the
small
guys?
Muscle though.
Have you looked at the people that are that have all this muscle definition in the top of their body, but have like chicken legs?
Yes, because that's different. Those are big muscles. So that could happen with big muscles. Like, yeah, you could work this out, and then you could not work your legs out, and then that'll create the chicken leg effect. But what I'm saying is, in the upper body, when you work something out, what the last thing to go, like you can like in the upper body, you can't skip all the chest and everything and just work out abs, and then you're just gonna have defined abs.
But let me ask you this: if let's say I just start just doing a bunch of curls every day, like arm curls, and just working on arms, will my arms get shredded and then my chest get defined? Probably not. It's probably gonna be my arms, right?
Yes, but no, because there's there's secondary muscles. There's there's primary. I don't know what it's called, but there's secondary, and then there's 3 muscles working out whenever you work out. So yeah, so let's say you're curling, right? You're gonna see how much I've gotten into this. So when you're curling, you're not only like working out your arms, you're also tightening your chest. So yeah, your chest can gain some muscle from curling. You're not gonna get the full effect of actually doing like chest exercises, but you're gonna get some tension in the muscles that'll make some definition.
But that's what I'm saying. So he has definition. He just doesn't have the amount of definition that people feel that he should have for the abs that he has. So what I'm saying is, let's say he was just strictly working on his abs, and maybe, the other muscles got a little bit of, because of the fact that he was working out on his abs. I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Maybe I don't know any better. Maybe you're right. But listen, going back to your original question.
What do you feel about men getting the man BBL? The man BBL is the abs.
And now they actually getting cabs
and height.
Yeah, now you can actually get a height, and
you should get that. You're like 5'7", 5'6", right? You should. I don't know. Maybe consider it. I don't know.
The fuck is wrong with you? What's up with the shots, yo? What the fuck?
What do you mean?
What's with the shots, bitch?
What shots? I'm helping you.
You're not. You're just throwing shots, asshole.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, yo, and actually, there's actually even a penis implant now. Believe it or not.
Oh, maybe
you might look into that.
Forget about the height.
You might look into that.
You should get that.
You might look into that. Let's ask Christina. She was like,
I don't know.
Anyways.
See, I can't. You see, you could do that to me. You could be like, "Oh yeah," but I can't do that to you, and you play into that, and that's why you play into that, because you know there's no comeback for that. I can't retort the same thing to you.
Yeah, Doug. So, listen, everybody, you're gonna have low self-esteem everywhere, whether you're a man, a woman. Should they? Probably not. They're gonna do it, so whatever. I mean, I personally, I'm not ever gonna say I'm gonna go and work out get something done just to look better. I know women that have gone under the knife, and that's not always good.
Yo, I don't know. Look, women going under the knife is understandable because women are. What do you mean?
That's sexist.
Why? How is that sexist? Well, it's about to be sexist if you take it that way. But I'm just being generalistic. I'm just being general and realistic. Right?
Just because they've been doing it for longer doesn't mean that it's okay for them.
No, I'm here. Here I'm gonna explain why women are more. What is it? Women are more vain. A lot of their success in life is based on looks. Especially those type of women who want enhancements. A lot of what they get from those enhancements is very lucrative. Like, they make enhancements, they get a rich man with money, or they get a job that need visual stimulation, that want a beautiful woman with that body.
Okay, Jay Tate.
What? I'm serious.
That's a Jay Tate mentality.
I'm serious. If you
women get it, there's a lot of women out there that get it because they have a low self-esteem about, and they're not, and sometimes
so you're saying there's insecure women out there?
Of course.
Wow.
There's insecure women, there's insecure men.
Okay,
but most women that do it are because they're insecure about that part of their body, not necessarily because of their gains of what they're gonna have. And there's plenty of women out there that get it, and they get it naturally, where unless they did it, you're never gonna know that they did it, so it's just about that kind of stuff.
What do you think?
Yeah, homeboy did something. Yeah, I just saw the picture for the first time.
Immediately change opinion.
Yeah, homeboy went under the knife, for sure. Yeah,
and this is not to body shame men or women or anybody, but hey, look. I just feel like if a man has to go under the knife for abs, like, look, at least women's is understandable. Titties and ass, that's something you can't really work on. Ass, you could do a little squats.
You can.
Ass, you could do a little squats, but titties, you can't really exercise them. You either got to have a baby or get implants. That's the only way your titties get bigger, right? But ass, you could only exercise so much. It could only get in such firm shape. But if you want a fat ass, you're gonna have to get a butt transplant or something, get some fat.
Well, I don't know, but I've seen some videos of some girls that went from flat to fat.
Yeah.
But
No, me too.
so it can't happen.
It can't happen for all right. It can't happen for
happen.
ass. But honestly, getting ass as a woman is probably, and all the work that goes into it is way harder than us getting abs as men.
Yeah.
Us getting abs at men literally take 3 to 6 months of some really depending where you're at, like 3 to 6 months of
3
discipline.
to 6 years.
Yeah, 3 to 6 years for Leo, 3 to 6 months for me. I could get abs in 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
It depends where you are, but Drake can get abs naturally, because he's not a big guy. Drake could get abs in 3 to 6 months with all the resources, all
free time
he has. Yeah, all the resources, all the free time and money that he has, he could definitely make a plan for him to get there.
Yeah,
that's why it's a little questionable. That's why. You know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's a weird angle. Maybe he didn't go under the knife. Maybe his muscles grow irregularly. But that shit looks
for sure.
Looks crazy.
But then again, it could also be editing. It wouldn't be the first time celebrities edit their pictures before posting them. So maybe Drake went a little kind of crazy with his editing.
Oh shit! You know what I heard? This is not my take. Joe Budden say, he was like, "Oh, now it looks now I'm thinking about it." Joe Budden said, "Oh, it looks crazy. Now the vest that he was wearing on all his tours, that looks crazy. He was healing. That was his faja."
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that shit. I was like, whoa. And then I remember there was a time after he dropped one of his most recent albums that he said he was gonna. I think after he dropped For All the Dogs, he said he was going to take a break because he was dealing with stomach issues. Come on, man. And then right after he went on tour with the vest. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Hey, listen. It is what it is.
It is what it is, man.
He has the money.
I got another one. Go ahead.
He has the money. He can do it. So, and if you have the money and you're insecure about something, a part of your body, do it, man. What can I say about that?
True, man. I think it's more acceptable for women to do it. One, they've been doing it for a longer time. Two, they could profit off it immensely, both financially and socially from it.
Yeah.
I see so many more benefits for women than I do for us, especially as rich guys like Drake. Yeah. Come on, man, just work out. But shout out to you if that's what you're in fact doing. You are working out. It was a weird camera angle, and you just really worked hard on that.
Maybe some weird editing.
Yeah.
Yo, we're just gonna transition out of that.
Yeah.
Talking about looking at people and shit.
Yes, sir.
Something happened to me recently.
Shit, talk about it.
And I don't know. My wife and I were at a restaurant. We went out to for lunch, and
that's cute.
Yeah, we do that sometimes. We act like a couple. And then the way I was sitting was I was
you went to the bar restaurant.
The bar
restaurant.
What bar restaurant?
The one in Miramar.
No. Oh. That we go there too at nights to have a good drink. We don't. I normally don't go there for dinner or lunch or anything like that.
Got it.
I mean, they got good food. They got some really good food. But no, we were somewhere else. And so the way we were sitting, we were basically like at the first set of tables. So every time somebody was gonna get set in a new table, they would the hostess would have to pass right in front of us to lead the new patrons or whatever you want to call it to their table. So of course, every time she would walk back to her station, she would pass right in front of me, and I just happened to be looking. The way I was sitting was that
right.
She every time she would pass, virtually right almost in my eyesight, in my line of sight.
You can't even see, but all right.
Yeah, well, that's why I got glasses, bitch. But so this happened like 3 or 4 times, and of course, my eyes kind of glanced over at her butt.
Over her what? Say it with your chest.
Her ass.
Her ass.
Her ass. And
if she got that ass, I got to look.
And it was like girl somewhere in her mid to late 30s, and so it was still firm. Yo, I'm gonna get
Yo,
canceled.
you're gonna.
I'm gonna get stabbed.
You're not gonna get canceled. You're gonna get stabbed by
I'm
your
gonna get
wife.
stabbed by my wife. Uh, but anyways, I told her this. She's sorry.
I feel you.
But so after like the 5th time, my wife is like, "Yo, I think you watched it enough already."
It's like, all right, buddy.
All right, buddy.
You passed your
sitting
limits
there.
of ass watching.
But and then that led to a conversation where, she's like, "Look, I understand that you're, as a human being, you're gonna watch if something's there, Where she draws the line is obviously
Just don't drool over it.
Drool or break neck, if I'm breaking neck,
bro.
if I'm turning
Don't
around
make it
to
obvious.
look, so but yeah, by the way, I was trying not to make it obvious because I wasn't even moving my head. It was kind of my eyes, but
Don't
she
break
noticed
eyes.
but she noticed the eyes moving,
The
so
eyes
she's like,
breaking.
yeah, so she's like, yo, but so because of that, she's like, yo, look, I get it, I'm not mad, it's just, of course, you don't want to do something disrespectful or like break your neck and look and stuff like that. She's like, well, if a cute guy walks around and we're at the beach and I see some abs or something like that, I'm gonna look, and I'm fine with that. If you're secure in your relationship, it doesn't matter if somebody looks. But I wanted to say this because we called somebody. I'm not gonna say who. And we called a woman, and she was there with her husband, and we kind of asked the same question. I was like, would you allow your husband to? What would happen if your husband did that? And do you consider that disrespectful? And she was so adamant, like, yo, that's disrespectful. That is, you can't look at anybody. You should only have eyes for me. And of course, the guy was like, no, man, I don't see a problem. You just, again, if the person's walking by you and you just happen to look, it's a natural reaction to look. It's not like you're breaking neck, anyways, I started an argument, and they even hung up on me and everything, and something kept going after that. So
Nice.
yeah, it's good to start an argument.
Yeah,
That is not mine.
You always want to sprinkle a little chaos in everybody's homes once in a while.
Of course. Every so often,
I get you.
It makes it memorable.
Yeah.
They think about me.
Wait, how did we get here?
I don't know. So
Fuck
what do you
Leo.
think? So what do you think, yo? You think that's a natural reaction, or you think that's disrespectful, yo?
Yeah, I think it's a natural reaction, man. I'm gonna say it, man. Yo, you got eyes. You're gonna notice somebody fine. You're gonna notice somebody good looking. Fuck it, you gotta look sometimes. You gotta look. You gotta live a little, especially if you've chosen and committed to being faithful. If you've chosen to commit to be faithful, just the eyes gotta dance. The eyes gotta dance.
You gotta move.
Yeah, they gotta move. They gotta look somewhere. And if I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this one person, bro, just like let my eyes have freedom. Let my imagination live a little.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And then I don't got to chase it. I just like the freedom of having my imagination. Now, if you get in the way of that, there's some things that got to be, the law has to be laid down.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on.
Somebody's getting stabbed. Yo, listen, we are definitely gonna know why Jay's gonna be wearing glasses next week.
Yeah.
He's gonna.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna like come in, and then I'm never gonna take them off. Even when I come in for pre-production, Leo's not gonna know. I'm not gonna give him the satisfaction of looking at me with black eye.
He's gonna be like, "Yo, I fell down the stairs." And I'm going to be like, yo, but you live on the first floor.
Well, we went up a stairs first at gunpoint, at knife point.
Yeah.
We went up the stairs first at knife point, then I was pushed down. Cement stairs.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah, those are
hey, let's not give her any ideas. She'd do it too.
Yeah, she would, yo. She Puerto Rican.
Yeah, for real. Facts.
Puerto Ricans,
that blood is
the crazy. That Caribbean blood is crazy, though.
It's boiling.
Yeah. Damn, for real, you trying to get stabbed?
Yeah, I'm trying to get stabbed. But no, for real. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, if you could stare at other bitch's ass, yeah, man, I think you should. Fuck it.
But if your girl does it, would you get upset?
I wouldn't get upset. I tell her all the time, like, bro, you got eyes. You're gonna see when a guy is fine or not. You're gonna see when he's your type or not. Like, it's gonna happen. You're gonna see it. It's like whatever to me. Yeah. Like, it's gotten me. It's taken me a lot of time to get to that point. Like I really I had to get to that point of, yo, let me just not be jealous. Let me be secure about myself. Let me be secure in my relationship, because getting jealous for no reason, you're just putting yourself through pain twice. Like putting yourself through pain of suspecting somebody, and then the fucking arguing and the draining that all that causes. And also, like, if that leads up to the end of the relationship, now you got to deal with the end of the relationship because of your initial insecurities. So once I realized, like, yo, nobody wants an insecure person. That's not fun. That's not fun to be around. That's an energy drainer. That's just overall just negative. And that's not what a relationship's supposed to be about. That's not the foundation of a relationship. If anything, it's the opposite. Trust is that.
Yep.
And so you just gotta have the trust that, yo, you just want their imagination to live a little, check some people out. I want the same thing. And then it could end at that. That's it.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I feel like exactly like you do. I've never been a jealous person because I feel like if
bullshit.
No, really. Well, you can ask your sister. If you're gonna, I feel this, and I've always said the same thing. If you're gonna cheat, you're gonna cheat whether I'm jealous or not. So why waste the energy and the stress on thinking that you're gonna cheat on me? Because that's
I'll
not gonna
cheat
solve.
more if you're jealous.
Oh, well, are you trying to send a message?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying. Like,
okay, just in case.
No, like that person would cheat more. Like, I'm saying the cheater, not me. No, I'm not speaking for me. I'm speaking for the cheater.
I'm trying to get you in trouble here for sure.
The cheater. If the cheater is with a jealous person, the cheater is probably gonna want to cheat more if the person is jealous, or is gonna feel like cheating.
Well, it can't push them more to cheat.
It can't push them more to cheat.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but so listen, that's why I said, look, I've always been so with that kind of sense, and it does drive my wife a little crazy. She does want me to, I guess, to be a little bit more jealous, but it's just, yo, I honestly, like, if you're gonna cheat, you're gonna cheat whether I argue, whether I get upset, whether I worried. Why am I gonna waste that energy? If you cheat, then okay, we'll deal with that, and then we'll go from there. Whatever what happens. But I'm not gonna waste that energy of having to worry every day if you went out, or are you with someone else. If you're this, that's just so much energy. I first of all, I don't have that much energy to begin with, and then I'm gonna use some of it trying to worry if you're gonna cheat or not.
Yeah,
Nah,
not worth it.
Not worth it.
Not worth it.
Yo, we've been at this for an hour and a half, though.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, we should keep going. Yo, should you wear?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Should you wear socks with shoes?
If you're Dominican, the word is no.
Oh, so yeah. Anytime Leo wears loafers, is no socks.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a very Caribbean style, though. Loafers and no socks, dog. So I've done it. I've done it plenty of times. When I was younger, I used to do it more. Now I've gotten to the point where I buy the low no-show socks.
Yo, before we go, why'd you do? Remember I said I was gonna expose you, and then you got mad at me. Why'd you do the thing you said you weren't gonna do?
What? Like whisper?
No, last night.
Oh, you're a bitch. You're a snitch.
How am I snitching? We're talking in code. Why'd you do the thing you said you weren't gonna do when you're not able to do it?
Because you need it sometimes, dog.
Okay. I understand. No, you see, that was a simple explanation. It was honest. It was simple. That's all I needed. That's it. No, we're transition.
Transition. Sometimes you need it. Sometimes you need a little gateway escape.
But aren't you? Okay.
You deal with this. You deal with the repercussions. You deal with everything after. You enjoy, then you worry about the problems
later. But I need you here.
I know.
Okay. Just as long as you know I need you here.
Yeah. I know you can't do this on yourself. Yeah. It'll be very toxic if I'm not here. I'm your buffer.
You're the balance.
I'm the bridging.
You're the bridging. I'm the real gap. I'm the real gap for real. I just be gapping shit apart. I be separating everything.
Yeah.
I be anti everything. You are bridging
for sure. We definitely you would get canceled by yourself.
All right. What if you wear no socks with sneakers? That's crazy, right? That is it me, or is that crazy?
Again, if you're Dominican, the answer is no. If you're, I mean, but listen, this is a very well known thing. It's just too hot in the island sometimes, and and also because of financial reasons, socks is one of those things that, after you wear them a lot.
Don't give me that financial reason shit,
Of
bro.
course.
One time I saw a Dominican with retro Jordans and no socks. Don't give me that. How do you have retro Jordans and no socks? How can you afford one but not the other?
Well, okay, here's why. You can keep your sneakers if you take care of them. You can keep them for years. Socks, the more you wash them, the more the material thing, and then you start getting holes on your socks. And what's gonna happen after a while? It's almost like you're not wearing a sock.
Yo,
so you might as well throw it out.
It must smell like mayo, mustard, and ranch in them fucking shoes.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty ranchy.
Yeah, pretty ranchy. Pretty cool ranch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cool Ranch Doritos sprinkled in that bitch.
We're just spitting out topics now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, all I have is going to go out today.
Dog, nah, man. I'm hungry, dog.
Oh, my God. Yeah, well, you know what? You did the same shit last episode. Every time I see that little leg twitch, I know you start getting hungry as shit. That's why we got to keep going, bro.
Dog, fool.
Yo,
listen.
All right,
that is one of the...
One last thing.
Right,
one last thing.
Go ahead.
All right. So we saw this video earlier, right? Of that customer that Dave Portnoy doppelganger.
Yeah.
Getting slapped by that pizza. Pizza got thrown to his face. Thrown at his face. Right there.
Yeah.
Full melted cheese slapped.
All right. So here's the backstory with this. Of what we saw in the video. So there was an argument. This is happened in New York. There was an argument between a pizza employee and a customer. The customer decided to throw a box that had food in it, like away, basically threw it on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the employee turned around and slapped them threw a pizza on him. And there a lot of people are saying that why would an employee do this? And I'm like, yo, fuck that. I worked in retail for a long time, and it was always the customer's always right, and customers know this, and they abuse it. So fuck the customers that think that because they're customers, they have the right to disrespect the employees. And you know what? If that owner fired that guy, I don't know the whole story. We should have probably done some research, but we don't do that in this pod.
No, we just watch the videos and talk about what we see.
Yeah, I would not fire this guy, and because
I wouldn't fire him either.
Fuck this guy.
Fuck that guy.
Entitled New Yorkers.
Yeah. Fuck Dave Portnoy.
Lookalike.
Oh no, I was just.
Oh no, but
it was just a straight.
Yeah. Fuck him. But nah, man. Listen. I feel like this guy probably was fed up. This customer was being a complete asshole, and he had his end. He was at this end.
I feel that, and especially not just retail, but the food service industry, especially like the fast food, like low level stuff, not like even restaurant, just pizza, McDonald's, whatever. Oh, speaking of which,
kind of thing.
Speaking of which, I was working Uber Eats, right? And I was waiting for an order, but there was people in front of me, and there was this man who was fucking fuming, bro. He's like, he went up to a woman. He's like, yo, get me my order, or I'm about to fucking snap, right?
Ooh.
And I'm like, oh shit,
what the fuck is going on here?
I was like, He's like, yo, I think those are mine. Can you check if those are 2 McChickens right there? I think those are mine. And this guy made me fucking wait for it. And I see them right there. They've been here for 10 minutes. And they're like, oh, and she's like, okay. So then she goes, and then she brings him the order, and it was exactly his order. He's like, that's the fuck I'm talking about. Yo, he's like, get that guy. Call him over here. Bring him over here. And I felt bad because he looked like one of those guys like McDonald's hires that are like socially awkward or uncomfortable, or there's something off about them.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way, like not like in a scary, spooky, like creepy way, but something is a little
maybe mentally challenged or something.
Something
maybe something
like
off. Yeah. Okay.
And he looked like a little antisocial, a little socially awkward too. And he went over to them and he was like this, and he's like, yo, you got my fucking order was there, and I told you my fucking order was there, and you ignored it. He's like, think, motherfucker. He's like, you made me wait here 15 minutes. Just fucking think. And then I started getting a little hot. And, you know, and I wanted to step in, but I'm also like, I'm like in the middle of a job. I'm not here like as a customer. I'm like, I just want to do my shit, mind my business, and get out. I was like, but if it, like, I'm told myself, all right, if this starts getting a little violent, I'm gonna do something about it, you know.
That's a tough one, though. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get involved.
I wouldn't. I didn't get involved, but if it got violent, I would have gotten involved. I was right there.
Even then, I wouldn't.
And I didn't like how he was talking to that guy, first of all, because you could tell, like, I could tell one thing if it's like a really incompetent worker, but it's another thing if I could tell this guy's a little off.
Yeah.
And it looked like this guy was just having a bad day, and he was taking his shit out on this poor guy. And then that's why if it got violent, I was like, nah, this guy's a little off. Like, obviously he can't fight. Obviously he can't defend himself. That's the only reason I would step in, you know. But especially in these food, you know, industry jobs, like, I feel like this is what I feel. The government should give you at least one a day where you challenge somebody to a duel, and then you make money off of it.
What the fuck?
You create an audience, you build it for 1 minute, everybody bets, puts their bets on it. You have a map, and then you duel somebody, and then you gotta scrap it out with them, and then no cops involved, no anything. You just challenge somebody to a fucking duel. I feel like that you should be able to do that shit. No?
No.
Why?
Yeah,
What's the problem? I challenge you to a fucking duel.
So you're basically saying that every day we should have a purge.
No. I'm saying every day you get to challenge one person to a duel.
Okay. So if
that's not a purge. That's not like, I'm not saying you get to kill somebody. I'm saying, all right,
sort of a purge.
I'm saying
because
you either quit or get knocked out. That's how the fight ends.
Dog. You're asking for your own version of a purge, you know?
Am I psychotic?
Yes.
Is this wrong? Am I wrong?
What else can we expect of Jay Tate?
What the fuck is wrong with that? Challenge somebody to a fucking duel, and if you talk to me a certain way, like, we could settle this shit as men. You know, there would be a lot less casualties. What I do, a lot less deaths.
I'm gonna say this, and this is like sort of going on. I think, and in some states it is legal if two consensual adults decide to fight.
Oh, yeah. I have read that.
So there is some states where if two adults are consenting to fight, then that is completely legal. That I agree with. If you two are having a dispute and you agree that, hey, the only way we're going to resolve this dispute is to fight it out, be my guest. But just because, you just because you're saying you can duel somebody, like you said, you don't know if the recipient is going to be able to. First of all, if the recipient of that duel, it's
all right. You get to call one patrol officer for the duel. It becomes like a system.
I get it, but if you're saying that, then the recipient of the duel may not know how to fight, may not even want to fight.
He could choose to not accept the challenge.
Yeah, but then he has to quit. I mean, but then that's that defeats the purpose.
But all right, no, it doesn't defeat the purpose, because it doesn't defeat the purpose because sometimes you both may be down for it, and then that's when you settled it. If the other person, that's how you de-escalate. Yo, are you willing to fight right now? Because I challenge you to fucking do it. They're like, you know what? It's not that serious, bro. I just wanted to get my shit off. And then,
but shit escalate.
Huh?
your
I feel like it's more de-escalating than escalating. We only escalated up to a certain point, and then it de-escalates. How you escalate it is how
you're gonna have people just walking around with aggression, just trying to fight every day.
No, but you can only
fight once a day. Yeah. So they're gonna fight every day. They're gonna be looking for a fight.
Well, you got to deal with that motherfucker.
Yeah, but
you could deny the challenge. He could be looking for it, but you could deny it.
Okay, but in your scenario, what happens if the other person denies it? Does that mean that they can go out now and challenge somebody else?
No, it's meant as a form of de-escalation.
No, I get it, but like if you say he can challenge somebody,
he could challenge somebody else because it got denied.
He's just gonna keep doing it until he finds somebody that's willing to do it.
And then he's gonna find the right one that's gonna fuck him up, and then he's gonna learn his lesson. You see what I'm saying?
He might, but there's other ones that won't. There might be that one guy that.
Then you gotta be smart enough to deny it.
Yeah.
You see,
I don't know.
it's a foolproof concept,
It's
bro.
not.
I just made it up in 2 seconds. It's
not
foolproof,
it's
dummy
not-
dummy
not-
proof. It's bulletproof.
It really
it's
isn't.
an absolute great. It's a great concept. China did it. China's a tough country. It's a great concept. We might introduce it in America. Who knows?
It isn't Jay Tate. It's
No. I'm Jay Trump. That was Jay Trump.
Yeah, no, but you're definitely Jay Tate.
That was me. That was me as Trump. It's a great concept. We might do it. We might implement it in America. We might implement it. It might do good things. It's a tough concept. It's a great concept.
I gotta do it.
It's a great concept. This guy Jay, he's a smart guy. He's a tough guy.
Yeah, I think this is a good way to end it.
Hey, this has been Bridging the Gap. Please like and subscribe if you want more of this nonsense. And I'm gonna give you more of this nonsense. Leo might not. Leo's older. He's like a retired toxic. I'm the newly entered in my prime toxic.
Yeah, for sure. But yo, make sure go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like. Go to our Instagram page, official. Bridging the Gap official. Click on the link tree in the bio. Go like everywhere. Go like us everywhere. Go subscribe. Please share. Yo, do us the solid. Not only share our video, but also share the reels that we're posting.
Share the reels. Share the
everything.
ad. Share the link tree. Share your stories on the comments, bro. Like and subscribe. Share a piece of yourself with us. Pause.
Yeah. Whoa.
No Diddy.
No Diddy.
No Diddy. Some baby oil. Oh, some baby oil.
Some baby oil. Okay.
No freak offs.
No, not yet.
Well, we're not rich.
Okay.
Might change when this podcast is worth 1.5 billion. I mean million. Just a million. Yeah, just a 1 point. You know, we're
yeah, but we still won't be millionaires.
Yeah, but
we'll be 500,000 years.
Yeah, but hey.
And you know, not all of that will go to us. Some of it will have to come back to production.
Yeah, no, it'll all go back to production. We'll go back to taxes. We're probably gonna see like 20,000.
That's it. Yo, when we get big, we're gonna have a huge production. Yo, we're gonna be doing good stuff. So please, in order to do that, we need you guys to subscribe.
Support.
We need you guys to support.
Make
sure that share that, man. So you know who this
is. Donate.
Oh yeah, donate.
Oh, wait, how do they donate? I just said that, but
nah, you. I don't know.
All right, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Send us money.
Send us money.
Yo, that's Get Rich Never Die.
That's official DJ Leo.
And we are Bridging the Gap, yo.
Peace, everybody.
Love.